Hi, I'm Miriam.
And I am Isabelle. We are the Divining Divas. Welcome.
And we're going to ask. And so, what we're going to do today is use different oracles of how to check in. And that's one thing that's great with the tarot. How about you, Isabel?
Yeah, so the idea that some of us are more intuitive or more psychic than others is interesting. And at the same time, what I would like to put out is that we all have intuition. Intuition is like a muscle. We all have the muscle, and it's how much we develop it. So it's like working out. When you're working out, you'll see that the muscles show up, being more defined. So it's the same thing with intuition. It's to, you know take ownership of it and act upon it. Another way that I found out about my emotion is by not listening, and then seeing the consequences of not listening. I don't recommend that train that too many times. Once is enough, and for small things as opposed to a big decision. But definitely, I have learned to absolutely befriend my intuition, and this is I want this to be a celebration of our intuition and owning our psychic abilities. Would you like to pull a
Yeah, so sometimes I still don't know. And sometimes it's just like silly decisions. And I had done a video before on idiomatic response. So, like, this is yes and this is no. And
Mhm.
sometimes I do that when, like, what grocery store should I go to? Just to kind of check it out.
Practice, yeah.
But then I like to check it out with other things. And here is the Animal Spirit, which is by Kim Krans. And she's done these lovely cards. And so I like to ask another oracle also because it's really good to change it around.
Absolutely.
So if we're just asking now of like how to own our intuition, then I'm going to just pull an animal card for that. How do we own our intuition? So here I get the bear card.
Mhm.
Let's find the bear card. So in this case, I need to go to a book.
Of course.
Oh, here we go. So the bear card talks about walking from spiritual slumber, beginning anew.
Mm.
So if I'm following my intuition, it's like, what's new? And then this is sort of funny because it's still Pisces and we're going into our feelings. And after a long winter, the bear arises from a deep slumber. At first, the movement and effort is difficult. So, no, if you're following this intuition, Isabel, it's kind of like saying what you were saying before about practice.
Mm.
So and find where that inner strength is.
And that necessary introspection that we need to and listening, because the bear goes, he goes into slumber, into silence for several months at a time. And so there is enough space there for the bear to not to hear this more subtle voice of intuition. It's not loud, so we need to really pay attention. So I'm going to pull a card from the Energy Oracle deck. So that's a really lovely tool that I use when sometimes I just need to define what's going on. What's happening in a given situation where I'm not quite sure what to make of it. So this one really calls to me. Oh, it's a very interesting card. It's called Strategy. Strategy. Hmm. So obviously, when intuition is that powerful that it can give us, when we listen, when we just sit here and listen, give us sort of like a step by step. Here, you can start over here. You can start over here, knowing this is what you're seeing. You're seeing a picture, you're not quite sure what it is, but you can start over here and walk towards it or follow it or allow yourself to be guided by it. So I also need to look into my book. So strategy is about making a plan. It indicates that this is the optimum time for setting up very specific strategy for achieving your goals. This card is telling you to spend some time setting things in order. It's time to take full control and add thought to action and set your sights on the road ahead. So the affirmation is, I plan the necessary steps to achieve my goals and I am willing to take action in that direction. I am flexible, persistent, and prepared. And so we may think that intuition is this sort of like unformed thing, but it actually is it offers an amazing amount of clarity. And when we keep asking, and then, and then, and then we get more information. So it's about, again, being willing to listen, to be quiet enough to listen, and then to follow it, to act upon it. So we first own our intuition, we follow it, and we act upon it. We take action, we take steps to following it.
Hmm.
Food for thought.
Yeah, yeah, I'm thinking about that one for sure. But I just like that there's all these other tools. And if you
Mm,
notice, both of us had to look in our guidebooks for some of these. So I highly recommend that you go on your intuition, and you also then follow different guidebooks, different oracles,
yes,
or or different tarot decks, just to get a different point of view, and then to intuitively decide what it is you want to take from those meanings or not.
exactly, exactly. Keep listening. And tell us what you think. Tell us what you experience. We'd love to hear about that. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Take care.